Hi there, I'm Cassaundra. Welcome back. So, as I'm just getting ready to head into town, the message came quickly record something, do something right now. And so, I suppose the simplest topic I can discuss will be about the Starseed trap. You'll have to excuse if there's little movement. I've got my kitty right here where the stand is. Um, One of the things that we have to understand is that we should not be self identifying with anything, that we should simply be our essence, our energy, our consciousness, and that in order to expand it, this is why the I am presence then becomes so incredibly important. Uh, Now, the controversy of it, the I am presence and I am God, I am God, I am God. I am pure spirit. I always have been. I always will be. When we go into this sort of mantra, this sort of idea, it means I am all. In the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was God. When we are connected to that particular consciousness and we understand that we are that particular consciousness, that we are all, then we are limitless. We are infinite. And that opens up the expanded field, the consciousness grid, our own energy, our own abilities, the divine wisdom, the universal wisdom, and all that can come in. So the starseed trap is the fact that so many then particularly identify with one thing. And an example of that would be to say, I'm part of the Pleiadians, or I'm part of the Sirians, or part of the Arcturians. And this even accounts to, though at least then it's a greater being, it's a much greater energy or power. Those who then say, well, I relate myself very specifically to the angels. Excuse me, lost my train of thought. I was just realized that while I'm wearing the mic, I didn't test it beforehand, so I'm certainly hoping that this one's going to work. I'll have to try it again. Um, and I'm hoping that it's much better at canceling out noise, as I do live on the flight path in this beautiful setting. So back to topic. The whole idea of identifying with that. So if you're identifying with, I'll give you an example, the Arcturians. Arcturians are not the highest form of beings or energies or star beings. We'll refer to them all as star beings out there. And it's okay to say, I'm a star seed. What does that mean? Of the stars, stardust, then has something considerably more expansive. We are now saying we are part of the universe. That's what it means to me when I refer to star seeds and I am stardust, that I am of the stars. It literally means I am of the universe. That's pretty expansive. And until we go back into the purest form of our consciousness, that's where we remain. Going beyond that, and I've tried traveling down that wormhole and was stopped until what was specifically told my mind couldn't handle it, that I have to continue to develop, grow, expand, and then this will be able to handle the truth as it comes in, because there were some things, many things, as it was information was brought in, as truth was brought in, as I remembered things, but also as I experienced things, that I couldn't fully understand it, and therefore you have to rise to the level of that type of understanding. It becomes a different type of intelligence, not the type that navigates this world. It becomes the type of intelligence that navigates all existence, understanding God consciousness, understanding the beginning, understanding everything. So now, as we go back into, I'm identifying I'm identifying specifically with this line. And so for the Arcturians, they're very, I want to say almost linear of the ones that are out there that are in the light. And while they're incredibly helpful to us and for us, one of the issues that then relies is the fact that they have a lot of tools. They can create healing chambers for us. They work with a lot of tools. And while their frequency and the level in which they live is higher than the three-dimensional or fourth dimensional frequencies, they're still working with these things. And oh, and we can say spaceships, we can say craft carriers that have frequencies and technologies and everything else considerably beyond what we would imagine, but that It's that. So that's one way of thinking that. There's those who then identify with that, who relate with that. We can take that up and now let's go arcturian. Arcturian's a good one because now arcturians are a lot more telepathic. They're a lot more consciousness, a lot more light, a lot more godlike, if you will. And I use this in the sense of when you had in ancient Egypt and the gods that came and they had magnificent powers. Now they were able to do certain things. So it's like having magic. Magic is a good way to describe that. So rather than going the technological route, now they're going the magic route. And so they have a lot of this magic and these abilities, and their conscious mind allows them to be someplace with just a thought. That type of power. Now that's that to me, that's an upgrade. Syrians are they're not in between, they're closer to the Arcturians, but they still have this. I don't want to say vehicle, but it's like a vehicle wherein they're not the perfect ultimate master creator energy and power. Now we turn around and we happen to have the angelic beings are getting much closer to godlike power, godlike abilities, because they're able to multiply, which is not something that the Arcturians, for example, can do, and it's not something that the Syrians can do, and it's not the Pleiadians. No, they can't do it either. So now we have angelic beings. Angelic beings now have this higher godlike consciousness with not beyond magical abilities, think godlike abilities, and they can be, for example, in one spirit, one consciousness in a million. And so, for example, you could have a million people around the world who ask for Archangel Michael. It's a good example. And Archangel Michael can be in a million places at once. It could be in a billion places at once. And so if you're thinking godlike abilities, okay, they can travel time and space. They can travel and reach consciousness like that. So now when you start to identify with, okay, I come from a line of angels, I'm from the angelic line. Okay, now you're rising up, you're expanding it all. But you have to understand that in your spirit form, and that's the best way. And we did want to discuss that, probably should have been a prelude for this one, that we touched base on that, the spirit, understanding our soul level self. Oh, we did, okay, good. And our personal self. When we start to understand our essence of our true spirit, the ultimate consciousness being that we are, that we're a part of all, and we are limitless, we are infinite. So when you have that particular ability and you are connected with that, you believe in that, well, guess what? You are now infinite in the journey that you are taking. So while you can now relate to, I relate to the Pleiadians, I relate to the Arcturians, I relate to the Syrians, I relate to the Andromedans, I relate to, you can relate, because that might be the one that might have the highest guidance for you right now in this particular lifetime. You don't have to say, though, because words are so powerful. I am from Andromeda. Give that as an example. I am Arcturian. Like, just, I am all. I am consciousness. I am of the stars. I'm of the universe. I'm stardust. I am consciousness. And I am my I am presence. I am God. I am God. I am God. And you have to have the power and the courage and the fortitude to stand in that. Regardless of what anyone else thinks or says, regardless of how controversial that is. It has nothing to do with ego. It has to do with you and your power. And when you take your power back, but also you stand in it with your life, your light, your responsibility, and your courage, that this is what occurs. Come on, please. There we go. And so, it's all right to identify with, but not to say, this is what I am, it's all that I am. Be all. Choose is to identify with all, but and allow whatever it is that particular line that's coming in is teaching you to teach you. I'll give you an example. What can we use? The Pleiadian? Oh, it just occurred to me. So if you happen to have a very direct line, and that direct line is going to the arcturians, it might be because the arcturians happen to have healing chambers. This is a disaster at this point. The arcturians happen to have healing chambers, and they also happen to have the med beds. That's a great way to describe it. The ones that are considerably known as the med beds. So if what you need to be taught is something that works along these particular lines, and if you need to understand the physics of the earth and technologies, then they might come in to show you this, to teach you this, to guide you. That's all. Because all of these things, the star beings, the star councils of light, the angelic beings, the angelic realms, your divine self, your conscious self, all the experiences that you've had in this lifetime, everything, the earth, the elemental kingdom, everything is here to show you the way. Everything comes forward with information, with light, with divine consciousness, if you will. So take it. Just take it all in and learn from it and identify with your infinite source. All right, we're going to stop there and hopefully this worked. And as always, blessings of light to you all. Thank you so much for joining us.